Expiry inherently is like a faster form of trading, right? Think of it like there's a test match when you're trading monthlies, and there's a T20. Everything happens at a very fast pace. The game is same. There's a baller, there is a batter, there is a buyer, there is a seller, there is a uh, bidder, there is somebody who asks for the bet. But the game is played at very fast pace. So take expiry as a chance for you to churn whatever capital आपके पास जितना भी capital है उसको churn करने का बहुत fast pace मिलता है. So you are basically playing one match at a day rather than playing one match in 5 days, right? So inherently जो चीजें मैं पहले मैनुअली देखता था बिफोर ट्रेडिंग, राइट, आई पुट इन दोस थिंग्स इनटू द सिस्टम इटसेल्फ कि यार ओके आई एम लुकिंग एट, मैं मैनुअली पहले बिडास देखता था यार कि बिडास बड़ा तो नहीं है कहीं इस हफ्ते. तो अगर इस हफ्ते बिडास बड़ा है तो हाई चांसेस है कि यार अगर प्राइस थोड़ा सा मूव करे तो स्पाइक जनरेट हो सकता है, राइट. सो दोस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स आई एम लुकिंग एट. देन आई एम ट्रेडिंग स्मॉल. अगर बिड आस्क बहुत टाइट है तो मुझे पता है बहुत लिक्विडिटी है स्पेस में, अगर प्राइस मूव भी करता है तो ज्यादा स्पाइक वाइक नहीं आएगा. सो आई एम ट्रेडिंग फास्टर. ऑल दीज kind of things I have incorporated in the system itself, so it is very adaptive in nature. Inherently it's just an automation of who I am or who I was, so it works in that way, and that is what I think the approach should be as well. So I mean, going before the expiry, there has to be a checklist of homework that everybody has to do, irrespective of what kind of trading that you are doing. So it doesn't become like कि आप एक्सपायरी में गए उसी मोमेंट पे आप देख रहे हो कि मुझे करना क्या है. देन इट बिकम्स अ लॉट ऑफ लक एंड गैम्बलिंग, राइट, कि आपको उस मोमेंट में क्या दिख रहा है. यू लुक एंड चार्ट, two people can see, one people can see market going down and one person can see market going up. That's how markets are, right?
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the 915 show. And I have with me Sarang Sood and Nikhil Khandelwal. Guys, welcome.
Hi, Praful.
Hey, hi,
We
guys.
have been
Hi, guys.
experimenting. So we have been experimenting on this show, and last time हमने एक लाइव स्ट्रीम किए थे where we took questions from the live audience. But इस बार हमने सोचा कि we'll pick up one topic, एक टॉपिक पिक करेंगे एंड उसके इन एंड अराउंड जो भी फ्रीक्वेंटली आस्क्ड क्वेश्चंस होंगे, जो भी मिसनॉमर्स होंगे एंड जो भी मिसकंसेप्शंस होंगे, उस सारी चीजों के बारे में बात करेंगे. एंड टुडेज टॉपिक इज द फेमस और रादर इनफेमस एक्सपायरी डेट ट्रेडिंग. तो एक्सपायरी ट्रेडिंग के बारे में जो भी हमको, मुझे या सारंग को या निखिल को कहीं पे भी जो क्वेश्चंस आए, मोस्ट फ्रीक्वेंटली आस्क्ड क्वेश्चंस जो है, तो वी हैव कंपाइल्ड दोस क्वेश्चंस, वी हैव कंपाइल्ड दोस टॉपिक्स. सो उन टॉपिक्स के ऊपर इन डेप्थ बात करेंगे, डिस्क्रिप्टिवली बात करेंगे, एंड विल ऑल्सो टॉक अबाउट व्हाट इज वर्किंग इन द करंट मार्केट्स एंड व्हाट आर प्रोबेबली सम ऑफ द ट्वीक्स दैट वन शुड बी मेकिंग इफ somebody is finding it extremely hard to trade the expiries. So that's मोटा मोटी agenda है इस वीडियो की. So guys, welcome to the 915 show. So फर्स्ट थिंग्स फर्स्ट, इंडियन मार्केट्स में ये जो एक्सपायरी डे का जो एक माहौल है बहुत ही लाइक इंपॉर्टेंट है. एवरीबडी टॉक्स अबाउट एक्सपायरी, बहुत ज्यादा फ्लो बढ़ जाता है. इवन इट इज सेड दैट द डेरिवेटिव वॉल्यूम्स ऑन एन एक्सपायरी डे इज ऑलमोस्ट 700 times the cash volumes.
If you are trading, every day and you are seeing the markets, so you are automatically in the regime only. And you get to understand कि अच्छा इस हफ्ता जो है प्रीमियम कम लग रहे हैं, पिछले हफ्ते ज़्यादा थे या जैसे भी है. I am a skew trader. I predominantly am a skew trader. So मुझे ये देखना होता है कि भाई प्रीमियम्स तो देख ही रहा हूँ कि ज़्यादा है कम है, बट आई ऑल्सो सी के भाई किस तरफ अपनी पोजीशन ज़्यादा रखनी है. बहुत बड़ी देर इज ओनली पुट स्क्यू और बहुत बड़ी देर इज ओनली कॉल स्क्यू. सो my system is, to be honest, very sort of like automatic. I get to see the market. मैं 1 मिनट में देख के बता सकता हूँ कि अच्छा आज मेरी पोजीशन ये बननी है. So that's how I approach the markets.
बट निखिल ने बताया कि लाइक यू काइंड ऑफ इनपुट व्हाटएवर हैपेंड इन द मार्केट्स ओवर द लास्ट फ्यू डेज, करेक्ट? तो जनरली तुम ये बोलेगा कि अगर लास्ट 2 महीने में या लास्ट 2 हफ्ते में if the spot is not moving much, if the realized walls are like much lower than the implied walls, so you kind of trend follow that. Do you input the values so that your system also tries to adapt to that, or you try to expect that okay, लास्ट 1 हफ्ते में मार्केट ने मूव नहीं किया है तो इस हफ्ते मार्केट फट सकता है?
यार मैं ना इतना, टू बी ऑनेस्ट, इतना स्पेकुलेट नहीं करता हूँ. इट्स काइंड ऑफ लाइक स्पेकुलेशन दिस थिंग, बट आई लुक फॉर माय ट्रेड्स. व्हाट आई लाइक टू get a good entry to my trades. तो वो अगर मेरा fulfill हो रहा है तो I don't look into anything else.
No,
So I look at
Nikhil, I was asking
yeah
Nikhil because as a systematic trader, because आप तो discretionary trade करते हैं तो
yeah
you kind of react to the market moves instantaneously.
exactly yeah
निखिल को तो आज सुबह अब उसका सिस्टम चालू करने से पहले कम से कम सारा पैरामीटर्स को डिफाइन करना पड़ेगा कि आज कैसा होना चाहिए. सो लेट्स से उसने लास्ट 2-3 एक्सपायरीज का डेटा सेट निकाल के उसने ये डिफाइन किया कि अरे यार मार्केट्स में तो रेंज कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो रहा है, तो एक्चुअली देयर इज सम वीआरपी दैट इज कमिंग इनटू द पिक्चर, तो वीआरपी थोड़ा पॉजिटिव
but
है. तो
but the thing is कि but the thing is how can you trust कि अच्छा 2-3 हफ्ते ऐसे चला है तो आगे आगे भी ऐसे ही चलेगा.
दैट्स एग्जैक्टली
Okay.
व्हाट आई वांटेड
Yeah.
टू आस्क निखिल को.
Yeah.
निखिल क्या उसको ट्रेंड फॉलो करेगा या वो एक्सपेक्ट करेगा कि हाँ लास्ट 2-3 हफ्ते से मार्केट फटा नहीं तो इस एक्सपायरी फटने की चांसेस ज्यादा है.
So, like it's a very first principle vol nature. Ki vol is very sticky in long term and very trendy in
मेरा
faster
personally मेरे साथ क्या है कि if
environment.
so I keep on posting these posts जहाँ पे अगर 2 लगातार एक्सपायरीज जो हैं काफ़ी वॉलेटाइल गई है, देन आई कीप पोस्टिंग कि भाई इस बारी जो है इट शुड बी एन ऑप्शन सेलर एक्सपायरी. सो दिस इज हाउ वी कैन समहाउ फाइट दैट एजेस, बट वी कांट रियली स्पेकुलेट कि हाँ भाई इस एक्सपायरी ऐसा ही होना है. यू हैव टू हैव योर डिफाइन योर एंट्री एंड एग्जिट पॉइंट्स. तो उसमें एक ऑब्जेक्टिविटी होनी बहुत ज़रूरी है.
तो निखिल को मैं ये पूछ रहा था कि लाइक you give weightage to different parameters based on how the market has behaved over the last 2 or 3 expiries, correct? Let's say market last 2 or 3 expiries में market काफी subdued है, तो the realized vols are much lower than what the premiums are implying. And तूने क्या ये expect करता है कि आज भी ऐसे ही behave करने वाला है, और you expect that okay last 2-3 हफ्ते में market फटा नहीं तो इस expiry में market फटने की chances है, तो I have to position according to that.
This is exactly the reason why people should understand what they are trading, right? Options, what options are, and how it is. Like spot में edges ढूंढना बहुत tough है. It's really hard. The whole world is trying to figure out what the price is gonna be next second. ये एक second बाद price एक point ऊपर होगा या नीचे होगा. Vol has inherent nature of it. Volatility has inherent nature of it that it's very sticky. Very sticky मतलब it doesn't move much. ऊपर नीचे ज़्यादा move नहीं करता in a longer duration of time. Or it is very, very trendy in a short duration of time. That is why when you see spikes, it just blows out, right? And then it becomes like a slow mean reverting back to its sticky nature of what it has been. So inherently, what I do is I give my latest data input the highest amount of weightage. Uh, so it's like a data analysis practice that you have a set of data that is coming in like 1 week, 1 month, but then you are weighting the data differently on how fast and how earlier or how backward the data is. So let's say मेरा पूरा हफ्ता बोल रहा था कि यार market नहीं move करेगा, and suddenly today market is very heavily moving. The weightage of the data that I am having today, right now, right away, is way higher than the weightage of the data that was 1 week back and 1 month back. So that gives a inherent that theoretical push to what volatility is. Ki volatility is very trendy in nature, that it moves very fast at a slower time frame, and then it is very mean reverting in longer time frame. So अगर spikes आएंगे, but spikes consume भी होंगे, when spikes आएंगे तो market फटेगा, and that's how it is.
So basically some sort of an exponentially weighted kind of a moving average basically on all the parameters.
It's not, I mean, yeah, it's a very simple data practice. It's not a moving exponentially weighted moving. It's just like weighting giving your data sets. Like if you have 10 data, 1 to 10, giving the latest one more weightage. So if you are doing, let's say, mean uh, of uh, uh, of 10 data sets, 10 data sets का mean निकाल रहे हो, but the latest one you're multiplying by 10, the last one you're multiplying by 1.
जितना पीछे पीछे जाओगे उसको वेटेज कम होता जाएगा.
Yes, exactly. So it is just volatility ka nature. It's not a something that everybody has to do. It doesn't work on spot. Spot पे करोगे doesn't work much. It works really well on options.
Also one thing works like you have to see के the relation between an OTM option and an ATM option. बहुत बार ये होता है कि OTMs are heavily priced and the straddle isn't that heavily priced. बहुत बारी सारा प्रीमियम जो है वो सिर्फ कंसिडर्ड होता है ATMs में और OTMs खाली होते हैं. So that's telling you a totally different scenario about the expiry. I think Praful has also talked a lot about this कि अगर OTM में ज़्यादा prices नहीं होते, so maybe it can be a very volatile expiry. और अगर जो है OTMs are having more premiums than the ATM, then maybe we can have a pinned expiry.
It's more of a regulation dynamics than anything else. Indian market इस तरह से regulated है कि if you make spreads, you can take higher leverage. So inherently, when people see some safety in some side of the market, they inherently try to over leverage that place. In creating that over leverage, they buy a lot of OTM options, and that creates a lot of one-sided positioning, right? So inherently, a lot of skew and all.
Yeah.
So if OTMs are heavily being bought, right, that is telling you that a lot of people are selling closer options. And a lot of people are betting on the market is not going to move. And it has not moved. That is why people are selling a lot of OT, nearby options. So it is mostly a regulation dynamic that has been created more than anything else. Also, to sell an option, you always need to put in capital, right? Option बेचना है तो थोड़ा capital तो डालना पड़ेगा, right? Anybody who is selling that option doesn't want to sell it at मतलब below certain price, otherwise it's no point. Like अगर मैं 1 लाख रुपए का लॉट लेके ऑप्शन बेच रहा हूँ, लेट्स से 10-15 पैसे का, राइट, मैं अपना कॉस्ट टू कैपिटल भी नहीं निकाल पाऊंगा. So inherently, anybody who's trading that option, he also has to recover that amount of cost. So that is why even far OTM options will also be trading at some amount of prices which you will be like, "Arey yaar, it's not gonna go there. Like it is 1 in a million chance of it going there." But the thing is, the person who is selling it has to put in capital, and that capital has some cost. So that cost has to be recovered. That is why there's always a price to of very far OTM options as well.
Basically, the takeaway is that कि you can't really predict markets from experience, but हाँ ये है कि थोड़े pattern recognition तुम अगर कर लो तो that slight edge can give you a lot of chances of being profitable or just survive a extremely volatile expiry.
Yeah, for me, it's mostly
all
like
these edges are all micro edges, right? Like ऐसे
Yeah.
नहीं कि मार्केट का डायरेक्शन प्रेडिक्ट कर सकता हूँ. लाइक आई कैन से लाइक व्हाट हैपेंस टू द मार्केट्स डेल्टास इन द नेक्स्ट 15 और 20 मिनट्स. ऐसे तो इतना तो तुम कंसिस्टेंटली तुम प्रेडिक्ट नहीं कर सकते, उतना एज तो तुम जनरेट नहीं कर सकते. तो ऑल दीज माइक्रो एजेस एडिंग ऑन टॉप ऑफ ईच अदर, एंड उससे तुम्हारा जो पीएनएल है वो निकल के आता है.
for me, it's mostly like doing your homework before your trading day starts goes a long way. I know it feels like after some time it will feel like you're not putting in इसका कोई impact नहीं है, but it I think like in the longer run that small days which you would probably survive or do better because you did some homework before arriving at the desk, in the longer run goes a lot further, and you also learn way faster. So I mean, if you are trading expiries, you are trading it for the faster nature of it. It is fast, you can churn your capital very fast. You also need to churn your learnings really fast. So you should do some amount of like spend like probably 15, 20, 30 minutes before the start of the day preparing for the day. And that goes a long way.
So why is it so important? Why is expiry such an important event, especially in the Indian trading space? Because यूएस मार्केट्स में भी हर रोज एक्सपायरी होते हैं, क्रिप्टो मार्केट्स में भी हर रोज एक्सपायरी होता है, बट इंडियन मार्केट्स में एक्सपायरी को लेके कुछ ज्यादा ही इंटरेस्ट है, कुछ ज्यादा ही एंथुजियाज्म है, कुछ ज्यादा ही पार्टिसिपेशन भी है. सो व्हाई इज इट सो? सारंग भाई, व्हाट डू यू थिंक?
So, I mean, expiry day is always been a very important day anywhere in the world, to be honest. And it's like a mini event where, the contract उसका जो एक डिसाइड होता है कि कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कैसे एक्सपायर करेगा. सो अब क्या है एक्सपायरी में क्या होता है कि देयर इज जीरो ओवरनाइट रिस्क एंड ऑल द ओटीएम ऑप्शंस आर गोइंग टू एक्सपायर जीरो. And then you also have the gamma is very strong, so you see an option going 10x 20x 50x even in few minutes. तो ऑप्शन बायर्स भी काफी इंटरेस्टेड रहते हैं. So these are all the forces of the market actually they converge and they come together, and that's why it's such an interesting day in our market especially.
राइट. सो निखिल, आई मीन एक्सपायरी में कैसा है कि लाइक we as option writers, we are trying to catch that, that accelerated theta or that mystical theta decay. But on the flip side, even the option buyers are kind of looking forward to those explosive gamma moves. For example, Kali natural gas में,
I think it was वो जो एक्सपायरी की बात करें ना, कौन सी थी? नेचुरल गैस थी?
I think it was crude oil, I guess. Crude
नहीं
oil
नहीं
and
नहीं,
natural
रुक
gas.
जा रुक जा, मुझे किसी ने
मतलब
टैग किया
देख
था।
रहे थे कि it was just 10 minutes to the
Yeah,
expiration, and that 10 paise ka option blasted to almost 50 rupees. So option
exactly.
buyers are also kind of interested. Nikhil, like you are a systematic trader and you run a bunch of strategies. Like, why is expiry day so important for you?
So, expiry inherently is like a faster form of trading, right? Think of it like there's a test match when you're trading monthlies, and there's a T20. Everything happens at a very fast pace. The game is same. There's a baller, there is a batter, there is a buyer, there is a seller, there is a uh, bidder, there is somebody who asks for the bet. But the game is played at very fast pace. So take expiry as as a chance for you to churn whatever capital आपके पास जितना भी capital है उसको churn करने का बहुत fast pace मिलता है. So you are basically playing one match at a day rather than playing one match in 5 days, right? So you use your 1 lakh rupees ka capital every other day, every other expiry again and again and again and again, and trying to do a faster trade and trying to make more bang for the buck. So that is why expiry becomes very, very sorted after by traders, specifically retail traders, because with that small amount of money that we trade on, we can trade a lot of times, have a lot of what we can sample space in trading. So we can probably be doing 200 days of trading with just one capital, rather than having to be done 12 expiries of trading monthly. So that makes it very lucrative for retail traders. uh, Expiry also brings a lot of leverage, not in form of कि जैसे हम leverage देखते हैं, but also in form of कि per point move what the index does, the PNL you can accumulate or lose is huge. So a lot of uh, lot of fast PNL can be made around it. So that is why it is very sorted after everywhere in the world. And also, expiry gives you the best form of price discovery, because it's like the most liquid, like Praful said already, right? It's the most liquid form of trading in all over the world, not just in India. S&P, go to Korean markets, go to any form of the markets. It's the most sorted and most liquid place to be. And that brings a lot of fair price discovery कि जो expiry पे prices होते हैं वो बहुत fair होते हैं. I'm not talking about the option prices, but the spot prices, because बहुत सारा activity चल रहा होता है. So that is one reason why almost every market in the world moved towards an everyday expiry, just to seek a fairer price discovery of the asset or derivative contract options.
Absolutely.
Over the years, I've also noticed one thing that अगर कोई भी वर्ल्ड में लेट्स से कोई टर्मोइल चल रहा है, लेकिन अगर तुम्हारे बेंचमार्क इंडेक्स की एक्सपायरी है अगले दिन, तो मार्केट जो है वो उसके पोजीशंस के अकॉर्डिंगली ही खुलती है. इट्स नॉट लाइक इट डजंट रिस्पॉन्ड टू एनी वर्ल्ड इवेंट्स और समथिंग लाइक दैट. सो दैट्स हाउ इम्पोर्टेंट एक्सपायरी डे इज. सी क्या है ना कि ऑप्शंस आर अ वेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स एंड अ वर्सेटाइल इंस्ट्रूमेंट. तो उसको समझने के लिए यू नीड सम इन डेप्थ नॉलेज. अब एक्सपायरीज पे क्या है, एक्सपायरीज पे ऑप्शंस आर लाइक दे आर लाइक ऑन स्टेरॉइड्स. So everything is moving very fast, and your mistakes they get very amplified. So it wouldn't be wise for a beginner to start expiry trading, in the beginning of their this career, trading career. But that being said, मैंने देखा है कि पिछले 2-3 साल में there are a lot of people who have done very well on expiry days, especially those who had सिर्फ 4-5 months का experience and all. So maybe they had this the regime was suiting them well or something like that. But I mean, still, it wouldn't be wise for a beginner to just jump into expiry trading.
But isn't it kind of projecting what you feel? Because there is also a saying that people should never touch options before they have spent a decent amount of time trading the cash markets. But me, you, or even Nikhil, like we have directly started trading options and we are doing like fairly well. So
Yeah.
Well, is it like person to person, or is it just, a one size fits all kind of an approach?
आई मीन क्या है ना कि एक्सपायरी में ऑल योर वीकनेसेस आर एक्सपोज्ड वेरी इजीली। तो वो साइकोलॉजिकल टेस्ट भी एक बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट होता है। तो इसलिए आई मीन इट्स वेरी इजी टू ब्लो अप योर कैपिटल ऑन एक्सपायरी डे। एंड तभी एक some amount of experience is required and should be required to trade on expiry days. बाकी options तो क्या है कि it's a whole world out there and it's अभी भी हम सीख ही रहे हैं। But still, I mean, it wouldn't be wise कि अगर कोई बिगनर एकदम से एक्सपायरी ट्रेडिंग शुरू कर दे।
I have a slightly, I mean, different but similar opinion as well. Uh, Expiry gives you an opportunity to learn things very fast. You what probably if you start trading monthlies and all at the first go, you will learn things slow and steadily at your own pace. Expiry will, as Sarang said, that expiry exposes your strengths and weaknesses such a fast time that you are tend to every time now and then you tend to YOLO a bit and then blow up your account, and that is the major problem, but it also lets you learn super duper fast. That is why a lot of people scale really fast, really well on expiry trading. I have I call it a mini solution to this problem. So with every trading style that have I have been doing over the years, I have a play account, a small account where I just used to play, like learn things. It could be 1% of my account size or probably 10% of my account size. That is the account where I just trade just to experience and learn things. So if somebody wants to get into the world of options or expiry trading, I would suggest them not to do it with 100% of your capital, because as Sarang said, you will uh, basically blow out, or you will show up on your weaknesses and all very fast. But you also need to learn that learn trading also faster. So expiry gives you a lot of chances, lot of different days to trade on. So having a small play account where you can actually trade just to learn, and just inherently to learn, makes a lot of sense. And then probably in few years you can keep increasing the size of your play account as you learn faster. The chances of you blowing up that account is also there, but then again it will be like 1 to 10% of your account. So it's a learning cost that we all pay off.
I mean, I agree to this because, like 1 year when that zero DT regime was there, where, like you trade every single day. So the feel that you get for the price, by trading every single day, watching each and every tick. So that learning curve is so accelerated. So आपको मतलब almost it puts you like 4 or 5 years ahead when it comes to, reading the price, reading the chart, getting to know the price action. I know now निखिल प्राइस एक्शन के बेसिस पे ट्रेड करता है, ना सारंग भाई प्राइस एक्शन के बेसिस पे ट्रेड करता है, बट दिस इज लाइक माय पर्सनल ओपिनियन बिकॉज आफ्टर ट्रेडिंग दैट वन एंटायर ईयर ऑफ एवरीडे एक्सपायरीज, you get to feel that price on such a close level. So that is like 5 or 6 years of your trading getting culminated into like 1 year. So this is one of the biggest advantages of expiry trading. And also, if you're very disciplined, okay, so that also kind of shows up in your expiry day game, because in a way, expiry moves are fairly random, right? So as Sarang says, it's not, expiry is a liquidity event,
Yeah.
right? So I want you to elaborate on that. You keep saying this, expiry is a liquidity event, and वहां पे मार्केट को कोई मतलब डेल्टा दिखाने का, कुछ डायरेक्शन दिखाने का इरादा नहीं रहता. It's just a liquidity event.
Yeah, so basically, Kenna, there are thousands of traders and HFTs and institutions. सबने अपनी positions close करनी है या roll over करनी है. तो it's about तो उनको liquidity चाहिए. तो market उस time पे expiry day पे it's not the direction that counts. It's जहाँ पे max liquidity available है, वहाँ market जो है move करती है. So अब क्या है कि small trader जो है वो एक रैंडम मूव का जो है वो निकालता है कि यार ये रैंडम मूव का क्या मतलब है, या whatever जो भी वो एनालिसिस कर रहे हैं. बट इट्स बेसिकली द मार्केट इज मूविंग अकॉर्डिंग टू वेयर द मैक्स लिक्विडिटी इज. तो वो एक रीजन होता है एक्सपायरी डे पे स्पेसिफिकली. जब मार्केट जैसे मूव करती है.
So now, जो majorly जो expiry day trade करते हैं, like as far as I am concerned, because like we don't interact with a lot of people who are trading with a small amount of capital who go for zero trades. That is kind of a completely different demographic of the traders. But जो हमारे circle में है, maximum जो लोग trade करते हैं, that is for this, accelerated theta decay. Now, what do you think about this culture, like where more and more people are, building algorithms and hammering walls at whatever values? मतलब people have become like so price agnostic, so price insensitive. वो आता है सुबह ही मतलब immediately देखते नहीं कि market कहाँ पर है, कुछ है, basically straddle या strangle ठोकना है. So what do you think about this theta decay, the role of theta decay on expiry days?
So people have made their whole careers, you know, from just trading expiries. And especially Praful, jo hai, he's done so well over the years. So अब theta decay, there must be some edge, some inherent edge जो सिर्फ expiry day पे होता है. जिस वजह से, you know, इतनी लोग जो है, इतनी जनता है, सारी एक्सपायरी ट्रेडिंग करना चाहती है. सो आई मीन अगेन आई टोल्ड यू अबाउट कि हाँ कि देयर इज नो ओवरनाइट रिस्क एंड यू नो ऑल द ओटीएम्स विल बी जीरो एंड यू just by the power of execution skills you can, you know, generate like decent profit and consistent profit from expiries. तो 2024 में हमने ये चीज देखी कि बिकॉज देयर वाज दिस डेली expiry regime, तो it attracted people, guys like Jane Street, जो you know they used to give these big huge spikes and injections as we call them. तो वही है कि I mean there is inherent edge, there's no denying that, and theta decay on expiry day, if you use it well with risk management, proper risk management, and you know execution skills, you can get something out of it.
I mean, I totally agree to that because I'm a manual trader, I'm a discretionary trader, and everything on expiry day, it all boils down to how strong your execution is.
Yeah.
And basically, there is like it's very few times you get that chance more than a split second to actually respond. तो अगर वहां पे आप जिद करोगे, वहां के आप adamant बनोगे, तो basically this position can go completely against you. But
Yeah.
if you are like fluidic enough and if you don't have ego and if you're trying to flow with the markets, if your execution is on point, if your risk management is on point, yes, expiring can be a decent way to actually make. But Nikhil to completely systematically chalata hai because 3.5 years, 4 years back, even you used to trade like manually, तो हाथ से order punch करता था. Now you have completely moved on to the systematic, space. So how's it treating you, Nikhil?
So, going to what you guys said, I have a slightly theoretical take on it, right? Ki expiry, as we have already talked about in earlier videos, that is just a smaller tenure of trading career lifetime, right? So the inherent edge, the lot of people talk about theta being the inherent edge, is not actually theta, but the VRP that we talk about, right? Ki how much has the market moved and how much has the market priced. That is the only PNL that comes in your book. The thing is, what you get in theta is usually what you give in gamma. When gamma by gamma I mean how fast the market is moving and how much the market is moving. So inherently, if there is more gamma on a particular expiry day, the market has moved way more much. Irrespective of how much straddle premium have you got in the morning, you're gonna not probably gonna make money. If you are trading just non-directional or something, or if you are buying an option, you're probably gonna make really good amount of money if the market is moving a lot, and vice versa if it is not, right? So it ultimately becomes a game of trying to predict how much is the market gonna move today, and with how ferocious nature it's gonna move, right? What we call gamma spikes and the spikes are there and all. Do every time there is a gamma spike, a buyer is gonna make money and a seller is gonna lose money, right? The inherent nature of the game becomes trying to predict how many of them will be there, where it will be there, how much like of it will be there, right? So that is how it is. Systematically, like Praful said, like being slightly price agnostic and not really caring about the price, just doing a similar stuff day in and day out would ultimately give you what the market price is. It will not have an inherent edge that you would probably have figured out. So if the market has priced the options slightly bad it will just give you that. So inherently, you are at the market's mercy for the PNL, and that's how it is. Largely over the years.
This is evident, like in the trajectory of how the performance of time-based straddles over the last 3 or 4 years, right? Like when the crowding effect was not there, they were like doing really well. And now also, I mean, when I say they're not doing well, I'm not saying that okay, उन लोग पैसे नहीं बना रहा है, but the risk-adjusted return, like whatever the metrics that you want to use, like it may be Kalmar or it may be Sharpe ratio, they have like significantly gone down. So I think when the crowd completely moves towards being price agnostic and एक inherent edge को exploit करने के लिए जाता है, तो then obviously that edge diminishes and diminishes and diminishes, and until it becomes not viable for more and more people to actually pour their money into it.
Yeah, I mean, so inherently over the last decade, there has been a two wall point ka edge on Indian market, which is very well studied. It was on expiry as well. Two wall point land somewhere around 10 points in Nifty. Then I roughly am just saying an approximate somewhere around 10 points. So every day, selling an option blindly was making you 10 points. Minus the costs. So whatever costs you were paying could be slippages, could be brokerages, could be charges and all. So that had been there. It has been decreasing not just in India, everywhere in the world, just because a lot of people are hammering beta. And it has been becoming more lucrative to buy options as more and more one side uh, of the is getting heavier and more coming up with larger and larger size. So that is there. That is why we see a lot of the edge which was evident, like 920 TPS coming, just selling strangles and delta hedging them, right? Which used to make a lot of money degrading very, very fast. So it's just how market works. Ki anytime there is one trade that makes a lot of money, a lot of people hold on it, and then once they start holding on it, it starts to diminish, and once it diminishes, something else works, and then it comes back again when a lot of people quit about it, right? So
But now, more and more people are, building diversified portfolio or baskets of strategies. मतलब पहले ऐसा था कि it used to be this 920 straddle. मतलब only people used to just play around with different times, and then it became a slightly, better version that time-based straddles. And now people are mixing option buying strategies, option selling strategies, so that they want to capture those gamma blasts, and at the same time they want to be like on the inherent edge side of the things where okay, like expiry day में like OTMs and ATMs तो inherently zero होने वाला है. So now more and more people are becoming like price sensitive. And do you see, how have your strategies evolved over time? Like तुमने जो strategy बनाया होगा कि because I know for a fact that last 1.5-2 साल से तुमने पूरा systematically expiry days को trade कर रहा है. So since then, like how many times have you been making the tweaks, or how many times have you completely changed your overall approach towards trading expiries?
Also, I would want to know what's better approach, like discretionary or systematic, for a beginner or someone who's looking at, expiry trading into.
so it does changes very fast. Markets are very adaptive in nature. One particular strategy doesn't make money forever. It will never be like that. If it been like that, it would be a golden goose, and everybody would be doing it, right? It and one particular strategy never works forever. You need to adapt to the market. Market adaptation, which was is slower earlier, like probably pre-COVID or even post-COVID, was slower. We saw regimes pass by in 6-7 months. Now it does in like 1 month or probably 1.5 months. So you always need to keep adapting towards how you see the market is behaving recently, and then how you predict the market is behaving in you. What you said about people diversifying their strategies now is a good thing, right? It inherently also is a life cycle of a trader. Trader started with one thing, figured it out, and then slowly and steadily moved into other things which also makes money, and figured out, oh, doing all of them together gives them a easier time, right? Have a lower PNL swing, easier time, and all. That's a progression of a trader throughout his career that has always been there. Talking about what Charang asked, right? Is discretionary better or systematic for a newbie who's just starting out with couple of let's say lakh rupees or something, I would also always say not to go systematic. Systematic would need you to put in a lot of time to figure out a certain niche, and then you also would need to be very adaptive. So if you are just there to learn, right, you are not looking to make a 100% return next week, next month, or whatever. Try to become a that 100x child in the trading markets, right? You would want to learn, and the best way to learn is punch orders by your hand. There's no other way. There's no saying anything. Once you punch an order by your hand, you go through a lot of emotions. It could be you fuck up while punching orders, or you do something else, right? So would suggest, at least when you start looking at the markets, be discretionary in nature. Look how the market behaves, because you are inherently trying to find patterns. If you cannot find patterns while when you are looking at the market, you will not find it systematically, right? So I mean, it makes a lot of sense to do discretionary when you're starting, but also makes a lot of sense to move from discretionary to systematic when you grow in size and scale, because it becomes, then you are always accustomed to that human error that you are gonna be around, right, at a larger capital. So it's a journey from actually trying to learn the market to actually trying to make that small edge which the market provides systematically.
So even I believe that trading discretionary is the way. And because क्या हो रहा है ना कि like if you notice the majority chunk of the flow that is coming into the markets from the retail side, it's mostly borrowed conviction, borrowed strategies, borrowed trade ideas. कि लोगों को पता नहीं कि मार्केट कैसे काम करता है, लोगों को ये भी पता नहीं कि स्ट्रैटेजी आफ्टर 200 250 300 ट्रेड्स क्यों पैसे कमा के दे रहा है, बट जस्ट बिकॉज either some ready-made algos have been provided to them, or some like they have taken the help of these AI bots and they have figured out something with the help of them, and they've tried to bypass the most important part of trading, which is handling your emotions. Now वो लोग बैक टेस्ट भी किए रहेंगे, लास्ट एक साल का अच्छा काम किया रहेगा, लास्ट 2 साल के सैंपल स्पेस में अच्छा काम किया रहेगा, एंड देन दे स्टार्ट ट्रेडिंग, एंड मार्केट्स हैव अ वेरी यूनिक एंड पेक्यूलियर वे ऑफ humbling people. So what I've noticed is people who have run back tests of over the last 2 or 3 years, now they are kind of struggling to even keep up with the returns. Basically उनका returns नहीं बन रहा है. Now after 1 year, 1.5 years or 2 years, ना उन लोगों ने अपना इमोशंस हैंडल करने सीखे, ना उन्होंने अपना डिस्क्रिशनरी पैटर्न रिकग्निशन स्किल्स होने दो, या अपना डिसिप्लिन होने दो, या इवन देयर पर्सनालिटी होने दो, कुछ भी डेवलप नहीं हुआ. एंड एट द सेम टाइम दे फाउंड आउट दैट ओके, व्हाटएवर वर्कड आउट इन द बैक टेस्ट, इट्स नॉट वर्किंग, एंड आई नीड टू समहाउ find new things. And now they move from one particular algo to another particular algo provider, or one particular ready-made strategy to another particular ready-made strategy. And this, they have not only lost time and money and opportunity cost, but at the same time, they've also lost an opportunity to actually, improve as a trader, because trader in the end is a human endeavor, what I believe. And जैसे आप अपना बिहेवियर ट्रेडिंग स्पेस में या अपना ट्रेडिंग करियर में कंट्रोल करते हो, that same things kind of seeps into your life outside trading as well. As a discretionary trader, yes, आपको you have to go through these ups and downs, and that's what makes you a trader. So in a way, एज अ बिगिनर सिस्टमैटिक ट्रेडिंग को डायरेक्टली चले जाना, एक रेडीमेड रूल्स को या एक ब्रॉट आउट, आई मीन एक बोरोड कन्विक्शन या बोरोड एज के साथ या बोरोड ट्रेडिंग रूल्स के साथ ट्रेड करना इज काइंड ऑफ डिजास्ट्रस इन माय ओपिनियन. तो आई वुड से दैट एज अ बिगिनर ट्रेडर, get your hands dirty, lose some money, lose some time, lose some hair, but it's worth it.
But I'll give you a small nugget that do it on a small account. Do not try to become the ace in the market.
Now, experimentation should always be in a controlled risk environment. अगर आपको कूदना है, पहले 1 फीट से कूदना है, देन 2 फीट से कूदना है, देन जाके मतलब हाई जंप करना है. तो ऐसा नहीं कि डायरेक्टली पोल वॉल्टर बनोगे. तो ऑब्वियसली the account size has to be, as you said, it should be.
The thing is now that expiry day पे, it's very lucrative. You see those cheap options जो far off OTMs होती है कि चलो कम से कम इसी को बेच के कुछ पैसे निकालने हैं. But we have already discussed that in our previous video, that how risky those OTM options, selling those OTM options are.
There are people, Saran bhai, I remember there are people who come after 3 o'clock and then they try to sell that 20-30 paise option. expecting them to go to zero. And
There was this post, someone posted that under my post किसी ने comment किया था that only an idiot would be selling options post 3 p.m. So so I mean yeah, see the thing is that options अगर ऑप्शन अपने आप में कॉम्प्लेक्स इंस्ट्रूमेंट है, उसके बाद एक्सपायरी डे पे दे आर ऑन स्टेरॉइड्स। 3 p.m पे इट्स द वर्स्ट, बिकॉज उस टाइम पे जो गामा है इट्स लाइक टोटली, मतलब वो किसी अनदर लेवल पे है। सो हैंडलिंग दोज मूव्स इन दैट particular time is very difficult for a normal novice
now,
trader.
saying, going all out and saying that selling options post 3 p.m. again, it's a blanket statement and I would not subscribe to that. Because अगर आपको पता है आप क्या कर रहे हो, अगर आपको पता है कि लाइक अगर ट्रेड आपके अगेंस्ट जाएगा तो आपका क्या हाल हो सकता है, इफ यू आर कॉग्निजेंट ऑफ दैट देन गो अहेड एंड डू इट। एंड इट्स मोस्टली अबाउट द पोजीशन साइज। मतलब ये मत करो कि पूरा का पूरा अकाउंट को पूरा मार्जिन यूज करके ₹1 ₹2 का ऑप्शन शॉर्ट करो। दैट इज नॉट एडवाइजेबल because it's, as Nikhil says, it's like an example of Thanksgiving turkey. But again, I don't subscribe to the thought that, okay, selling options post 3 p.m. is stupidity. No, if you know what you're doing, do it. Because अगर सब लोग ऐसे मानते हैं कि सेलिंग ऑप्शंस पोस्ट 3 p.m. इज स्टूपिडिटी एंड सब लोग ऑप्शंस बाय करने में ही लगे रहते हैं, तो उनको कौन लिक्विडिटी देगा?
Yeah, exactly.
There should be a counterparty.
So at the end it's a liquidity event.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I wanted to know this, Praful, so you basically are a expired trader only. So what are your preparations before going to an expiry? Like एक दिन पहले क्या देखते हो और कैसे उसको अप्रोच करते हो?
तो जनरली मैं एक दिन पहले ज्यादा कुछ देखता नहीं हूँ। आई मीन एज ऑफ नाउ लाइक आई हैव टू मेक दीज वीडियोस, तो हर रोज मैं 915 डेली एनालिसिस वीडियोस बना के दे रहा हूँ। तो वहां पे मैं जितना बोलता हूँ उतना ही मेरी होमवर्क रहती है, उससे ज्यादा कुछ होती नहीं। बिकॉज मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम एक्सपायरी का जो प्राइस एक्शन होता है दैट मेजरली डिपेंड्स ऑन वेयर द मार्केट ओपन्स द नेक्स्ट डे। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर मार्केट कल के रेंज के अंदर खुलेगा तो देन माई इन्फ्लेक्शन पॉइंट्स बिकम समथिंग। इफ द मार्केट ओपन्स बियॉन्ड दैट पर्टिकुलर रेंज देन मेरा कंप्लीटली एक्सपायरी उस दिन का जो प्लान है वो कंप्लीटली उल्टा हो जाता है एंड देन आई विल बी डूइंग समथिंग एल्स। एंड डिपेंडिंग अपॉन माय मार्क टू मार्केट, कैसे मतलब मार्केट ओपन होगा तो देन आई ईदर स्टार्ट विद अ डायरेक्शनल ट्रेड और आई स्टार्ट प्योरली विद अ डायरेक्शनल ट्रेड। एंड अगर मेरे को डायरेक्शन भी पता नहीं चल रहा है एंड इफ द वॉल्स आर नॉट दैट ग्रेट देन आई विल वेट फॉर द मार्केट्स टू एक्चुअली गिव सम bit of directional move and then start making my positions. So बहुत subjective हो जाता है because as a discretionary trader.
But like don't you check the like premiums का भी तो एक component होता होगा कि कितना प्रीमियम खुला है, कैसे like डायरेक्शन तो एक अलग चीज है।
So how I look at it is, हो सकता है कि like premiums are relative, right? Sometimes the volatility might be contracting, sometimes the volatility might be expanding. For example, last Sensex expiry 450 rupees पे 1DT Sensex straddle close हुआ था, but आज it's already 380 and we still have another 1 hour to go. Probably 350 के आसपास close होने वाला है. Probably tomorrow we might be opening at 300 rupees straddle. But then you have to look at those premiums with context. Contextually देखना बहुत important है.
Yeah, exactly.
How I look at it is, market का open जो है and जो मेरे को let's say एक valid या logical range मेरे को दिख रहा है, if that range can be defended using that open premiums, then I'd say that ठीक है, I can somehow trade this. But if the range is wider than what the premiums are implying, then I feel that okay, the premiums are cheap. They should not be making a mistake of jumping the gun and directly punching the trades right at the first stage. So again, as I said, markets कहाँ पे open होता है and premiums कहाँ पे है. It also depends on like how my previous 2 or 3 expiries have gone. तो उससे भी बहुत ज्यादा फर्क पड़ता है. It's like
confidence उस हिसाब से आता है.
Yeah, it's like how I look at trading an expiry is like building a cricket innings. I always say this and I always give this analogy. तो अगर आपने लास्ट 2-3 बॉल आपने मिस किए हैं, आपने टाइम अच्छे नहीं किए हैं एंड आपने मिडिल नहीं कर रहे हो, तो then you don't directly jump down the pitch to hit a six.
Yeah.
You try to defend, you try to sneak in singles and then you build some confidence and then you start sizing up on the back of that mark to market cushion. So it's not like completely मैं सुबह आके 9:15 को.
But yeah, there's a thin line between being overconfident and confident, because our biggest losses also come when we are overconfident with our market this thing के पीछे अच्छा कर रहे हैं and ठोक दे आते ही.
So the markets behave in cycles. Even as traders, we also behave in cycles, and it is inevitable. वो होता
Yeah.
नहीं होता है। आप कितना भी लाइक आप अपने आप को ग्राउंड करने को ट्राई करो, आप कितना भी
Yeah,
अपने आप को
exactly.
संभालने को ट्राई करो, दैट cycle has to be completed. And what I say is like, when do you get that overconfidence? At the
Yeah.
back of your profits, correct?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when I say that, भाई आपने किसी बॉलर को 3-4 कंटिन्यूसली छक्के मारे हो, it makes logical sense to go down the track for the fifth ball also and try to take him for a 6.
Yeah.
अगर आउट होंगे तो ठीक है, लाइक लेट्स से इवन इफ आई लूज, अगर ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस से मैंने 2-3 गलती कर दी एंड एक 2% का झटका भी मिल गया,
हाँ मतलब वही है कि the losses should be controlled.
हाँ,
मतलब ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए.
I'm doing from my profits only, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I won't
Exactly.
be overconfident when I'm going through a
Yeah.
string of losses.
Yeah.
So for me, that is completely okay. Like again, I'll go back to 2024 when I was like swinging left, right, and center. I was getting like I was clocking back to back double digit months, 20%, 15% months में कर रहा था May, June में, and September I did take a 5% red months as well. But I was completely okay because I was ready for that. मुझे पता था कि भाई continuously मैं swing कर रहा हूँ बैट को तो कभी ना कभी edge लगेगा. And I was okay with that.
So 2024 में ये चीज थी कैसे I've seen Nifty का straddle trading at 270 at 2 p.m. 12 p.m. on an expiry day.
Yeah.
और आजकल क्या है आजकल हम देखते हैं 5DT में 220-230 के आसपास होता है. So regimes also matter a lot. And regimes के अंदर भी there's this mini shifts, you know, जब तुम्हें एक्चुअली एज मिलता है कि अच्छा एक रिजीम चल रही है और पिछले हफ्ते जैसे यू सेड कि एक सेंसेक्स एक्सपायरी लास्ट टाइम 400 थी, अभी 300 के आसपास कल खुलेगी. सो दीज मिनी शिफ्ट्स आल्सो यू नो ऐड a lot of this thing to your uh,
Absolutely.
edge.
You know, it's like when these momentum traders, they actually
Yeah.
go into a phase of hibernation. जब market choppy
Yeah.
रहता है, they don't put lot of trades. They try to protect their capital. And similarly, like हमारा 2023, 2024 was like a golden opportunity for basically option writers तो नहीं बोलूंगा, like zero DT short term traders. बट अभी कैसा हो गया कि लाइक ELM लग गया है एंड इवन द प्रीमियम्स आर सुपर लो, द रिजीम चेंज हो गया है. तो नाउ जो मैं उस टाइम पे क्वार्टर में जो रिटर्न एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा था, तो नाउ आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग दैट रिटर्न फॉर द एंटायर ईयर. तो दिस टाइम लाइक आई एम प्लेइंग अ टेस्ट मैच. आपको भी पता है कि लाइक यू नो माय रिटर्न्स, लाइक इस साल कैसे है, लाइक आई एम ट्राइंग फॉर लाइक 2.5-3% per month and I'm very happy with that. So it's like, yeah, you have to.
So yeah, it's again वही है कि I mean experience teaches you कि भाई कौन से regime में कितना तुमने aim करना है.
Absolutely.
So
I've seen a lot of people make really good money when the tide is in their favor, only to give back more when the tide
yeah,
is against them.
exactly. That's you know wisdom वही आपको teach करता है कि जो आपने कमाया उससे ज्यादा नहीं देना.
Absolutely.
That's where your risk management comes into the picture.
So inherently, how I approach expiry day is I take some few data points from पिछले weeks में, महीनों में क्या हुआ, and then look into it, how the market is behaving, what kind of regime are we in. Regime as in, are we in a mean reverting kind of a market, or are we in a trending kind of a market, or which kind of a place are we in? How much straddle prices or IVs have been provided? How much the spot, like the price of Nifty or Sensex itself, is moving in the last few days, right? If it is moving too volatile, that means there is not too much people participating, or there are a lot of people panicking here and there. I take my decisions on how much I want to be size I want to be trading and how I would not want to be trading based on that, and then I approach the market. Also, I personally think doing some bit of homework before the day starts could, if you are systematical, it could just be in the code itself, right? Making the code more adaptive in nature so that it does itself the homework. But as a trader, somebody who has been looking at the market, doing some bit of 10-15 minutes of homework before the markets makes you take better decisions during the market, right? तो क्या होता है मार्केट में, एवरीबडी इज ट्राइंग टू फिगर आउट नेक्स्ट 1 सेकेंड में प्राइस एक रुपया ऊपर होगा या नीचे होगा, and at that heat of the moment, a discretionary trader, retailer like us is very susceptible to making bad decisions, which inherently we do not take when the market is not running on overnight. Overnight decisions, according to me, are the best ones because at that moment of time you get the time, right? It's not like, oh, next 1 second या 1 minute में ही आपको trade लेना है. You get that whole period of time to analyze what the market is. It could be, you could be a price action trader who's charting and plotting support and resistance. You get that time to plot those support and resistance, look at it granularly from 1 minute time frame to probably 1 hour time frame, and then take a decision. So I think doing some bit of homework before coming makes a lot of sense. You have to look at straddle prices. You have to look at पिछले 2 दिन में अगर मैंने straddle बेचा होता तो पैसा बना होता या नहीं बना होता. अगर मैंने option buy किया होता, let's say trend following किया होता, तो पैसा बना होता या नहीं बना होता, किस rate पे बना होता. Has there been spikes in the market where people are panicking? Where has that spikes been on? Like spot level पे किस area पे वो spikes आ रहे हैं, so that I understand, oh, these are the prices where people are actually panicking on, right? So those kind of homeworks take you a lot of places. Inherently, every time there's an expiry, it's a new day, it's a new place, right? And that homework needs to be repeated every now and then.
What I've seen is that बहुत बारी क्या होता है कि वीक जो है पूरा वॉलेटाइल होता है एंड तुम्हारी एक्सपायरी जो है बहुत स्मूथ ऑप्शन सेलर्स के लिए फेवरेबल टाइप्स होती है. सो उस टाइम पे लाइक हाउ विल यू यू नो चेंज योर मार्केट रीडिंग?
This is where understanding what options or what volatility products are makes you a better trader, right? uh, like spot में क्या होता है कि what has happened last 10 minutes or last 10 months doesn't do much in predicting next 10 minutes or 10 years, right? Because everybody's trying to figure out कि 5 मिनट अगले सेकंड में क्या प्राइस होगा, and that if somebody figures out, price moves to that price, right? Volatility has different nature. Volatility is theoretically and like it's like has this nature of being sticky as in it comes back to
Yeah.
a mean reverting position. IV keeps coming back to 10 and 12 ka level after every burst and boom, right? And then when it blows in a spiky nature that it moves. So inherently when we know that options are sticky in a longer time frame, that IVs cool down when it blows out, or if it blows, it goes below a certain level, it blows, right? And we also know that when it blows, it tends to blow higher than what people perceive to. So like say अगर 100 रुपए का straddle है तो कई बार वो 130, 40, 50, 200 तक दिखा है हमने, right? It moves in a very fast paced manner. So knowing that fact, you always give more weightage to the faster data that is coming in. जो जैसे the data that is
Yeah,
come in
exactly.
very new has more weightage. अगर आपको
Yeah.
अब भी कुछ दिख रहा है, it has more weightage than what you have done, like studied 1 week or 2 week from now. There is new information coming in, and that new information needs to give in more weightage. That's how volatility products are, right? That's how spikes work. कि एक spike आता है, it blows people off. It lasts for like 10, 15, 20 seconds or probably 10, 15, 20 minutes, and then people feel like अरे इतना panic नहीं था, and then it cools down to back to its mean position and ultimately goes to zero. So that's how you do it mostly. So inherently trending in faster time frame and mean reverting in a longer time frame.
So Praful, tell me, what are your capital allocation rules like on expiry day? How do you do that? Is there a system or is it like again like you know all discretion?
अगेन लाइक आई एम अ प्योरली डिस्क्रिशनरी ट्रेडर, तो सारे जो डिसीजंस होते हैं वो डिस्क्रिशनरी ही होता है. बट अगेन who's a discretionary trader? A discretionary trader is a one who's got a framework within which he's got a lot of freedom to operate in. ऐसा नहीं कि मतलब लकीर का फकीर नहीं होता है. You should say like I feel that the premiums are better and the range is kind of logical and the range is smaller than what the premiums are indicating. Then I might deploy probably 25% of the size right at the first tick, and probably I might be deploying right at the straddle. But let's say I feel that premiums काफी कम है and even I'm expecting some sort of a volatility. I might either just deploy 5 to 10% of my size because I don't want to let go of that opportunity cost. At the same time, if I want, I can completely sit out. Completely position size को zero बना के भी मैं बैठ सकता हूँ. So it is very subjective. And since I don't have any other positional baggage और एनी अदर ट्रेड्स रनिंग, कुछ मतलब एक इंडेक्स में पोजिशनली ट्रेंड फॉलोइंग चल रहा है, कमोडिटीज में कुछ चल रहा है या कुछ स्टॉक ऑप्शंस में चल रहा है, ऐसे मेरे कुछ है नहीं. तो बेसिकली एवरी डे आई कम विद अ फ्रेश स्लेट, तो आई डोंट हैव एनी बैगेज. तो एवरी एक्सपायरी इज अ फ्रेश स्टार्ट फॉर मी एंड दैट ऑफ कोर्स लाइक वो बैगेज आता है मेरे साथ भी. कैसे आता है कि लेट्स से लाइक इफ आई हैव गॉट अ वेरी गुड एक्सपायरी द प्रीवियस, then this expiry I try to go a little aggressive because on the back of the previous expiry's profits. But अगले दो तीन एक्सपायरी अगर अच्छा नहीं गया तो then I'll try to sneak in the single. And मेरा स्टार्टिंग में जो बेसिकली कैसे होता है कि like as I say, for me trading in expiry is like building a cricket innings. तो how committed am I to strike at a 150 160 strike rate right from the first ball depends on so many other factors. अगर पिच मेरे को ठीक लग रहा है तो देन राइट फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट दिस थिंग आई स्टार्ट पुशिंग इन साइज. मतलब मैं कैपिटल का 30% भी मैं कमिट कर सकता हूँ. बट at any point I'll not commit more than 30 to 40% before 10 o'clock because the regime is so. But there were regimes like 2024 में like I used to commit the entire size right at the first tick and मैं देखता था कि चलो यार अगर आज 1-1.5% का लॉस भी हो जाता है ना तो वी हैव बैक टू बैक एक्सपायरीज, हम कमी जाता है. तो दैट टाइम रिटर्न मैक्सिंग वाज द गोल, बट यहाँ पे रिस्क मैनेजमेंट इज द गोल इन द करेंट रिजिम. तो दैट्स व्हाई लाइक माय रिटर्न्स हैव आल्सो गॉन डाउन लाइक एंड आई एम कंप्लीटली ओपन अबाउट इट. अभी मैं 2.5 to 3% ही महीने का मतलब मैं कमाने को ट्राई करता हूँ, उससे ज्यादा ट्राई भी नहीं करता हूँ. एंड वी गॉट ओनली 2 एक्सपायरीज. ELM रूल आ गया है, द प्रीमियम्स आर लो एंड मार्केट्स में जो डेल्टा मूव्स आ रहा है वो दे आर कांस्टेंट. लाइक ऐसा नहीं कि लाइक पहले कैसा होता था कि 2024 में 2023 में इफ वॉल क्रश यूज्ड टू हैपन, इट यूज्ड टू हैपन विद द मार्केट बीइंग इन अ रेंज, स्मॉल रेंज के अंदर मार्केट रह जाता था एंड देन प्रीमियम डीके होता था. अब कैसा है, प्रीमियम डीके होता है, वॉल क्रश होता है, बट एट द सेम टाइम मार्केट्स विल गिव यू रैंडम.
So everything goes in the adjustment cost.
हाँ, पूरा का पूरा
Yeah.
जो एडजस्टमेंट कॉस्ट में ही चला जाता है. मतलब आपने 25,900 के स्ट्रैडल पे बैठे हो, मार्केट पहले 26,000 पे हिट करेगा, वापस 25,850 पे जाएगा एंड देन फिर से आके 25,900 पे ही क्लोज होगा. बट आपने पहले ऊपर एडजस्टमेंट करते हो, नीचे एडजस्टमेंट करते हो, हाथ में आपका कुछ बचता नहीं है. तो व्हेन द रिजीम इज लाइक दिस देन इट डजंट मेक सेंस टू बी डिप्लॉइंग मोस्ट मेजर पार्ट ऑफ योर कैपिटल राइट एट द फर्स्ट टिक. तो मेरा जो होता है कि लाइक वो एक स्टैगर्ड अप्रोच रहता है एंड एट द सेम टाइम नाउ आई एम नॉट हेजिटेटिंग टू टेक डायरेक्शनल रिस्क एज वेल. पहले ऐसा रहता था कि मेरा हमेशा दोनों मतलब मैं जोड़े ही बेचता था, हमेशा मैं स्ट्रैडल्स या स्ट्रैंगल्स में ही रहता था. बट नाउ एट टाइम्स लाइक आई इवन गो डायरेक्शनल. तो डायरेक्शनल आईटीएम ऑप्शंस में मैं सेल किया रहता हूँ विथ प्रॉपर पोजीशन साइजिंग. So that is kind of working out well in the current regime. But again, as the regime changes, as when the market tells me otherwise, of course, I'll have to, be in flow state with the markets.
Nikhil, what's your say?
So I would probably be more interested in seeing how a starter should approach this, right? Position sizing. It's the biggest, uh, I mean, say trait which differentiates between are you gonna be successful in long run or are you gonna be not successful in long run. Sizing it well, sizing your trades well, right? So we have been talking a lot about sellers and how sellers should size. I would suggest let me start with how a buyer should size it, right? Let's say so as a buyer, I just need to make sure that I'm sizing in equal amount of bets. It's not very high or low differentiating, right? So if I am, let's say, buying an option, if I feel like market's gonna go down and I'm gonna do a trend following in it, I have a certain amount of the capital. Let's say it could be 0.5% that I'm willing to bet on it, right? So I will size up my quantities in such a way that I am allocating 0.5% of my capital on it, and then be like, where do I want to book my profits and where do I want to cut my losses? Inherently, most of the times on an expiry day, how I feel comfortable is if you buy an option, you should not cut it. You probably should let it go zero. If you are feeling that letting it go to zero loses you a lot of money, then you're probably oversized, right? Because a lot of time we have seen the prices of an option go from 50 to 5 and then from 5 to probably 100 or probably 150, right? So a lot of the times I feel like when you are directionally taking a trade based on charts and all, you should fix an amount that you are willing to bet and stick to it rather than moving it around depending on aaj kaisa lag raha hai, which side of the bed you have woken up today and all. It should never be more than what you probably will not be able to sleep on, right? It should not be so much that कि यार आज इतना ज़्यादा lose कर दिया and I will not be able to, I will have a bad sleep. Every now and then, we as traders always lose sleeps every now and then of over losing a lot of big money, right? So it should be a certain percentage. It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 5, depending on where you are, how much risk you want to take. But it should be a fixed number that you keep on taking. where do you want to sell it? A
So
lot of
basically, you have to create a system around it only,
yeah,
like
and
option buying with a specific
yeah,
thing.
and a lot of questions now come on. Where do you want to buy? Do you want to buy in the money, at the money, OTMs, right? It's very susceptible to how much probability, like कितनी probability में आपको return चाहिए, right? If you want a huge return, you are fine with less probability, probably 10% of winning, but you want that like 1 in 10 returns की एक जब एक से मेरे को 10 मिले, you probably should be trading OTMs. That's the best bang for the buck.
Yeah.
You at a random day there would be a day you could probably make 100% as well, but then you would be losing like 9 times out of 10, right? If you are not fine with taking a very low probability bet and you want a higher probability, like most of the times I should be winning, even if the winning is small, right? You should be trading in the money. But inherently, when people trade in the money, they are trying to mimic futures. कि आप फ्यूचर ट्रेड कर रहे हो, कॉस्ट सस्ता हो जाता है, योर नेट रिस्क also becomes cheaper because the max you can lose is how much value you have bought. But let's say अगर आप 1% का buy कर रहे हो और in the money buy कर रहे हो, the amount of quantities that you can buy in the money versus the amount of quantities you can buy out of money will be drastically large. कि हो सकता है आप OTMs 10 slot buy कर पा रहे हो सेम ही अमाउंट पे 10,000 रुपए में, बट आप इन द मनी एक ही क्वांटिटी बाय कर पा रहे हो. एंड डिपेंडिंग ऑन हाउ बिग ऑफ अ मूव यू आर टारगेटिंग, लेट्स से आई एम टारगेटिंग कि यार मार्केट यहाँ से 1% मूव करेगा, आई विल बी मोर वेल ऑफ ट्रेडिंग एन OTM ऑप्शन. And let's say if
Exactly.
if I am thinking, oh, market will probably, I'm basically targeting 0.3% move only, I will be better.
See, the thing is कि ITM में वो delta component भी आ जाता है ना.
Yeah, exactly. So
तो yeah, you have to be right in that
yeah,
also.
yeah, that's majorly why I was saying ki that probability is also a lot of the factor that you have to be. OTM में a lot of the PNL will just come from gamma, your
Yeah.
prices and like your prices moving from smaller delta to a larger delta. While in the money, it will become a straight future. Every point will ultimately start giving you 1
Exactly.
point of PNL, right? So that's how it is. As a seller, let's say if you are a seller, as a seller, I would I would want you to have two metrics where you have a upper band and a lower band. कि यार इतना leverage मैं sell कर दूंगा if the day is not fine. If the day is not good, I am losing money. If it is not good, I'll be probably trading at 2x or 3x leverage, let's say. If the day is good, I'm gonna bang on and be like 10x leverage. Very similar to what my friend Praful does, right? If it is not, if I'm not feeling it, if the market is punching me in the face every now and then, I am not trying to be a smart ass and do 10x leverage. I'm probably happy with 2x and then figure out if it is working or not. And if I am killing it, like I'm doing the tango with the market, I'm moving how the market moves, I would be fine trading 10x as well. But the thing is, you always want to know what the risks are. If you're trading 2x, if you're trading 10x, what you are feeling right now could change the next second, right? So you should always know what your net risk on the table is, ki var kitna hai when selling an options. So that's how I think you should approach expiry trading ka side.
See, in my opinion, expiries they punish strong opinions and they reward awareness, they award discipline, they award position sizing. So that's very important on an expiry day. कि don't go all in at the start.
So when we say that expiry is mostly a liquidity event, what we are saying is there's a lot of position coming, right, which are supposed to be closed today. So let's say there is a 5 crore worth of OI that is in the market that's gonna close, vanish, right, and new positions is gonna come in next day. 5 crore contracts will close. Those 5 crore contracts have some kind of positioning, right? If the market moves up or down, those contracts will also move up and down. Depending on how the contracts move, people are gonna make or lose money, right? So inherently, it becomes like a game where everything boils down to that one particular expiry day, and then new positions are made. Like a new day starts, new game starts. So that's what we are into. A lot of that 5 crore contracts, so I'm just giving a random number, could be higher or lower, moves in a very peculiar way. People panic really fast, people become greedy really fast, right? It becomes like that. So a lot of what we have seen in at least in Indian markets, अभी निफ्टी में हमने देखा है, पिछले साल हमने काफी सारे अप्रैल में काफी मूव्स देखे हैं, जेन स्ट्रीट के टाइम पे काफी मूव्स देखे हैं, how prices and how liquidity was moved around by a lot of money being pushed into the market. It becomes a liquidity game where a lot of the position goes in and out together, right? कि जैसे कुछ मूव आता है, a lot of people are sitting in one position जहाँ पे उनका risk appetite इकट्ठा खत्म हो जाता है. Me, you, Praful will all at one moment, one instance, एक ही price पे तीनों का risk appetite खत्म हो जाता है, where we have to take that decision to close it, and we all decide to close it, right? At that moment of time, it's not the market moving, market moving itself, right? It's our liquidity which we are pushing it in one direction, moving it. So it becomes more of a liquidity event where people be like, yeah, how the people behave at that moment moves the market rather than the market moving how the options move. So that is why a lot of time people ask me, yeah, spot didn't move, like price nahi move kiya, options move kar gaya. What scam is this? It's not a scam. It's just a component that there's a lot more money on the options on the expiry day, which inherently moves the spot itself. So uh, derivative like option itself becomes the original asset rather than the asset itself, and the asset follows after the derivatives has moved.
It's it's the classic case of dog wagging the tail or tail controlling the dog.
So much money comes in on expiry that it becomes a mostly a liquidity event on how the liquidity is placed, how people are positioned. So much money goes in actually trying to figure out the whole Jane's Street fiasco became Jane Street trying to move the markets depending on how they felt like the markets were behaving. Like they felt that liquidity is positioned. They wanted to do was push in money in certain way that they felt that could probably move markets in certain way. So they inherently tried moving option prices and then inherently moved.
I'll tell you this instance. 2023 या I think 22 में ऐसा होता था कि फिन निफ्टी एक्सपायरी शुरू हुई थी एंड मार्केट लेट्स से थोड़ी सी 100 पॉइंट्स डाउनसाइड मूव करी. So we used to see spike in call OTM options. So that was just how people, because of the stop losses being hit, because उस time पे क्या होता होगा, maybe people used to put stop losses in their strangles instead of a single option. सो उस हिसाब से वो फिर मूव्स उस हिसाब से आया करती थी. सो इट्स ऑल अबाउट लाइक जो हम मैनिपुलेशन कहते हैं वो यही है कि हाउ दीज बिग प्लेयर्स आर प्लेसिंग देयर बेट्स एंड हाउ द लिक्विडिटी, बेसिकली दे आर चेजिंग लिक्विडिटी.
A classic example of this is like one of my very formed example. Classic example of this was COVID. COVID hit actually in January and February, but it didn't move. The market didn't move. Market knew what was happening. It didn't move till the US ka monthly expiry happened. Just the next day of the monthly expiry, it held itself just because of how much liquidity it was. As soon as that monthly expiry vanished, a lot of the position was out of the market. जितना भी उस महीने के contracts से सब बाहर हो गए. New contracts had to be placed in new ways. Market start crashing. Like it crashed 30-40%, just waited. That is a classic example of why.
No, I'll tell you this example in Indian markets. 2016 में सितंबर मंथली एक्सपायरी थी एंड उस दिन को वो हुआ था, सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक हुआ था, एंड दैट वाज द मंथली एक्सपायरी डे. बट द सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक हैपेंड इन द मॉर्निंग and the news broke out at around 12 p.m., 1 p.m. So, it took its time. वो सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक की न्यूज जो है, इट डिडंट इम्पैक्ट द मार्केट अपना आराम से खुला एंड वट. फिर 12-1 बजे जाके व्हेन द whatever the positions were managed and all, उसके बाद जाके वो न्यूज ब्रेकआउट हुई थी. So that's how big people play these markets, and we are all crying manipulation, but we have to see behind this manipulation is what is the way forward.
No, absolutely. So, guys, I think we have spent a lot of time on almost all the topics that we could cover on expiry. So, yeah, I think that's the purpose of this video series, just to nudge you guys in the right direction, and just to give you some sort of an assistance and not directly spoon feed you guys the strategies. All right. So, Sarang, thanks a lot. Nikhil, thanks a lot for being here.
Great session, man.
Okay, guys.
Great session. Loved it.
Yeah, same here.
So let's catch up again. Guys, we'll see you guys again sometime soon. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing. Please read the risk disclosure documents carefully before investing in equity shares, derivatives, mutual fund, and or other instruments traded on the stock exchanges.